Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Despitefitness, and today I want to do a fast video. This is just one quick tip to work on your triceps. So triceps, extraordinarily important when it comes to bench pressing or being able to press well, specifically with bench pressing. So I just want to talk about one movement that is a great movement to add into your routine, and it's something that many of us can do. So one thing that you may be familiar with or may have heard of is the bamboo bar or an earthquake bar. And so the bamboo bar or earthquake bar is kind of a flimsier bar than a normal barbell, and it's meant to bow and oscillate. And then of course you can hang weights off of it, and it's meant to kind of create a lot of instability, so that you have to control that weight much more in order to be able to move it proficiently. And so adding in that additional instability brings in the auxiliary muscle groups so that you can control the weight. And so if you are able to use those bars well and under control, it helps build in strength for all that auxiliary muscle group instead of just the main movers. If you don't have one of those bars, you can do something similar to it, which is a setup that I have here. So let's go ahead and take a quick look. And what I've done is I've just used some bands, and I've hung off some 10-pound plates off with these bands. Now, as I move with the weight and move kind of through the range of motion, the weight is going to bounce and the bands are going to start to kind of jump around, and the weight's going to oscillate on me, which means I'm going to have to work that much harder to control that weight. So what I'm going to do is kind of a skull crusher with the kind of bamboo bar setup. What I happen to have here is a training bar for my son, which is a 15-pound bar, and then I have 10-pound dumbbell, or 10-pound weights rather, hanging off. So total weight here is only 35 pounds. So you don't need to go super heavy with this in order to be able to get a good workout. And the other thing that I would say is be careful with your band setup, because if you've got a band that is a big sturdy band and only a light weight, that weight's not going to be much to make that band kind of begin to bounce and oscillate, so you're not going to get quite the instability. So finding a good balance of just the right amount of weight with the right amount of band in order to cause that bouncing is going to be critical to getting what you want from this. So too big a band with too light a weight is no good, and then too big a weight with too light a band also no good, because the weight will stretch and just hit the floor, and it'll be a little bit too cumbersome. So getting the balance of weight to band ratio is kind of something that you want to play with. Make sure that you get it dialed in. But once you do that, you can set it up and do it like this. So with this, you can see that I'm not moving super fast, right? I'm not just bouncing through it, because of course that's gonna make the bands and the weights bounce and oscillate that much more. So I have to kind of control it, smooth, steady movement. You can also see that even just with that little bit of movement, a little bit of that instability kind of making me move a bit, so that I have to focus that much harder to control that weight and do better. That extra focus on the control ties in the muscle groups a little bit better, works in some of those accessory or auxiliary muscle groups beyond just the tricep. It has to tie in the shoulder and everything else. So it's a really great way of getting a great exercise and a lot of extra focus on a muscle group without having to go super heavy. So with just 35 pounds, going through some rep work with this would be a really good way to kind of just tap out on the triceps. It's a really great way of getting some additional work in for them, and something that I would recommend. So if you're looking to try to increase your bench press and you want to add in something else, a little extra spiciness into your routine, I would try something like this. And then, like I said, the biggest considerations is just kind of how you set up and your band to weight ratio, to make sure that you have good balance, so that it's creating some bounce but not too much bounce. And yeah, just kind of going through and being able to control that, I think that you guys will find it'll be a great addition into your tricep training repertoire. You can also do this with an overhead press. You could also do this with curls. You could also do this with just regular benching, right? So it's a really great way of just tying in a little bit of extra instability into the movements, so you get a little bit extra from them. So check it out. If you guys have any questions, leave in the chat box below. I will respond. I appreciate you guys continuing to support me with what you do. All the likes, shares, subs means the world. So I appreciate you guys very, very much. The channel's been growing like crazy. But if this is like the second or third video you've seen and haven't subbed up yet, I can't grow the channel without you. So I need you to click the sub button and join the family. Aside from that, guys, I appreciate you checking out. Remember, no matter what it is you think you can't do, like, get in and find unique ways to kind of hit the muscle groups a little bit differently so you get more from your workouts. It's never gonna happen if you don't get in and train to spite. You're either gonna find an excuse or you're gonna find a way, and I hope that you guys continue to find the way. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Peace.